when they thought they would ban local beer. That's what they would do. They would ban local brew, but allow the colonialists, the white guys, to import their whiskeys.
Yeah, you see, that's what I always mean by saying going backwards.
Yeah, I think for me, it's not even the media covering, or rather the issue has not been alcoholism, you know. The coverage has mostly been on the illicit brew, and not looking at alcoholism as a whole. And that for me has been, you know, the frustration, because the kind of approach that has been taken, not just, I mean, it's not media taking the approach, it's media covering what is, you know, what is coming out, is that, you know, this is a problem in central Kenya. Where I differ, no, it's a national, I mean, we need to look at it, you know, nationally. Let's map it out, you know, nationally before we can actually narrow down to this particular region. There are also pertinent issues surrounding it.
These are the journalists that are propagating this lies.
They are also, you know, because, I mean, pouring the illicit brew doesn't solve the problem.
Correct.
Why is it that,
and also the pretension for politicians to then be on the front line,
yes,
and they are the leaders, and then to come out and look like,
but that's the other thing I wanted to say, is the third bit here that's where we're failing, is when MPs or the president initially purports to direct MPs, you know, which he has no power to do, you know.
Well, when there's an issue, the president can't say sort this issue out.
The president, let me finish. The president,
Gadara is quoting the Constitution.
The president has no power to start. The parliament is supposed to check him. How can he be the guy who directs it, or who directs MPs? And don't forget, read his tweet. I direct that MPs will do 1, 2, 3. That's what he wrote. You know, he has no power to do this. Then we've got MPs going on TV and saying, I burnt a factory, Moses Kuria. I burnt 2 factories, and because the president gave us a directive, he allowed us to use, as if the president has the power to suspend law.
Okay, fine.
He doesn't.
You mentioned the withdrawal symptoms. Something at the beginning when you're introducing this about, I think the people who are suffering from withdrawal symptoms in this case, I think are the central Kenya leaders. They're the ones actually who seem probably they've been drinking a lot, and now they stopped drinking and they're suffering from withdrawal symptoms, because if you look at their actions, these are not actions of people. You keep on saying that we should look at alcoholism and probably these people need maybe psychological help and all that. The people who need psychological help in this case are the same MPs who actually came to cry in Nairobi, or came to wail at State House that actually they're having this problem in their areas. The thing that we've not reported is that there is no way that you can find somebody coming from Maragua or wherever place. He knows the number of toilets in Kibera, but he wants to tell us that he does not know the brewers or the people who sell this alcohol in his area, that actually he needs to come to cry to the president. That is what we're not asking. What Central Kenya, or what this particular case is suffering from, is a case of failed leadership. These guys are so much concentrating their energies on somewhere else and forgetting their people. So these people actually whose factories are being burnt down, whose factories are being raided and all that, what the people they need to talk to are actually their leaders. It's their leaders, actually the people who are supposed to protect their property and all that, who are letting them down.
But also there's law enforcement and corruption thriving.
It's not I don't even call go around destroying businesses.
I don't even call that thing all these things that people tend to drink on the other side. You might call me insensitive because I don't drink. I don't even call it illicit brew. Actually, what those people are drinking is not alcohol. It is poison.
Yeah, it's poison.
It is poison. That's what they're drinking. Plain. But when you get to the level where you raid people's factories and all that, because what I know is, tell that person, don't produce then this poison. I'm very sure that those machines can actually be used even for bottling water. You're talking about youth empowerment. You're talking about creating jobs. How are you going to do this if somebody has actually imported a machine and then you lead your same people to go and destroy it, burn it down and all that?
Back to the media.
So that's what I'm thinking. These are the questions that actually the media is not asking.
Okay.
For alcoholism, you cannot legislate unless you want to become a nanny state. You cannot legislate against people becoming alcoholics. You cannot come up with a policy like, okay, fine, now I want to round up all the alcoholics in this country and then put them in a rehab.
Which your president suggested.
Now the question then,
the thing
I mean, there's so much that is wrong here.
For me, what is happening is what you're not asking is that what are the policies that actually you're going to put in place?
So the one was said you can't legislate.
No, not policies to prevent people from becoming alcoholics, because you can become an alcoholic by drinking very expensive alcohol, single malt. You can still become an alcoholic. What are the policies that actually we're going to put in place? Because some of these drinks are actually imported into this country. Some of them, not all of it is made here.
Okay.
So what are the policies that actually are we going to put in place to govern maybe the importation of this kind of drinks, or actually the manufacturing of these poisons, or the brewing, the processes and all that? I think that is what we should be asking, instead of going to attack people who probably have imported their things.
But you know, I think.
But still, we have to tell Central Kenya, no, they're the ones who actually have. They've not burnt anything else in Western Province or in Rift Valley. They're doing it here, and actually that is what we need. We cannot run away from that fact that they're burning.
So we need to tell them what?
We need to tell them actually that they need to give leadership to their people. Concentrate on, to sober up. They need to get sober first of all.
Point made.
Now, I think Clay has raised, various dimensions that, various angles that kind of coverage should take. I hope that we're going to see it, in the next, because I think, what we have seen is them covering what has been happening, which of course makes news. You can't blame them for doing that. I mean, when MPs, go to that level where they are now the ones, breaking into these dens and that makes news. You can't ignore that, and you can't blame the media for covering that. But beyond that, the kind of questions that Clay is raising, then we are hoping that we need to, that conversation can be carried.